in because today we are doing another exit interview for Ready to Love Season 8. And this is going to be for LeiAnn. We know LeiAnn went home and LeiAnn is on an exit interview, a tour duty. And she's been doing exit interviews. She did one with Christal. She did one with Commisha Reviews, and she did one kind of like with Kendra G, because she was on Kendra G singles as well, y'all. So I was able to catch some of her exit interviews, and let me tell you, I've come up with what I think of LeiAnn. I know we didn't get a chance to see a lot of LeiAnn on the show. We saw a little bit, but not a whole lot. And I had some thoughts then, but because we don't really have that much information, I said a little bit here and there. But after watching LeiAnn on several of these exit interviews, I am going to say one thing with LeiAnn. I'm going to say that LeiAnn, she struggles with transparency. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that LeiAnn definitely struggles with transparency. I don't want to call her a liar or that she's fake or anything like that. Even though there were moments when, to be honestly, I thought maybe she was not telling the truth. But I didn't have enough information to say she really isn't telling the truth. But I do have enough information to know that she struggles with transparency. She's actually the complete opposite of Tequila. Now, we've only had 2 exit interviews. We've had Tequila, who does not struggle with transparency at all. What Tequila feels is what you see. What Tequila thinks is what you see. What Tequila believes is what you see. Tequila wears her heart on her sleeve. She's emotional. She's very transparent. And sometimes that works against her. And in my other interviews about Tequila, I even talk about that, how I think it works against Tequila in dating. Well, guess what, folks? We got the complete opposite sitting here with us with LeiAnn. LeiAnn is the exact opposite, where I think that she is the opposite of Tequila. She actually struggles with transparency. And I think what that happens is you don't end up trusting her all the way. You don't trust her because you know that what you're getting is not the complete truth. You may not know what part is real, what part is fake. But what you do know intuitively, if you got any intuition, if you're a person that goes off intuition and gut, what you do know is what you're getting is not the complete truth. So that starts to make you skeptical. And I believe that probably works against her in dating. Because remember, dating is a lot about first impressions. Sure, a person later on gets to know you, gets to know the real you, once LeiAnn may open up and be more transparent. Because you know what? She may be the type of person where in order to be transparent, she's got to get to know you more. She's got to feel more comfortable with you. Well, the problem with dating is a lot of people don't have enough time to unwrap people if it takes them 3 months to show who they really are. You see, dating is a lot about numbers. And a lot of times, if you don't make a good first impression, you don't get second dates, you're going to get third dates. Dating is just like interviewing. If you don't hit the first interview out the park, then you don't get a second one. Then you don't get a third interview. And a lot of people who struggle with first impressions, they often struggle in dating. I think, like I said with Tequila, because Tequila is too transparent, her emotions are all over the place, she doesn't have any control over it, I think she struggles in dating. Because that becomes too much for a person when they first meet Tequila, they see Tequila, they're having to deal with too many of her emotions. It's difficult. It's a struggle. It's hard to deal with. And then what happens is that becomes a turnoff to you. You don't want to get to know more about her because what you already know about her feels like too much work. Like, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to go through this. So then they just basically probably cut Tequila off. And they don't get to know the real Tequila. That's true. They don't get to know the real Tequila. But listen, everybody's in charge of trying to create their own first impression. Sure, you may be mad that people don't get to know you later on and get to know the real you, but you're in charge of that. You're in charge of the impressions you give. Now with LeiAnn, I feel it's the opposite. I feel like LeiAnn doesn't let people get to know her, not in the beginning or maybe later on. Because all of these interviews she did with Kendra G, Christal, I'm telling you, she struggled with transparency. Anytime a question was asked of her, she hemmed, she hawed, She danced around the questions. She gave circular answers. And I'm thinking to myself, this woman is old enough to know what she wants and what she thinks. Why is she struggling with these questions? Why is she dancing around it? Why is she using a bunch of words? Why can't she just talk straight? And off the bat, someone would think, well, she's lying. She's coming up with answers. Why isn't it natural just to talk? Why does she have to think so hard about what she's saying? So in one way, we talk about Tequila wearing her heart on her sleeve. I don't even know where LeiAnn's heart is. I don't even know if LeiAnn's heart is even in the conversation or if it's on the bottom of her shoes. I don't think it's present. I don't think it's present when you first get to know LeiAnn. It may show up later. Some of her friends may say she has a big heart. Some of her friends may say differently because they've gotten to know her over time and over the years. But when you first meet her, it doesn't show up. It's not there. You don't see it. And here's the other part where I say she struggles with transparency. Because one of the things that happened during Ready to Love was the whole thing with Mario, when Mario talked about his father had passed and he felt that LeiAnn didn't give him any sort of condolences. Well, in the interview, LeiAnn said, well, that was highly edited. We hear that a lot from people. It was highly edited. She said they left a lot of things out. And what she said was they left out all of her condolences. This is what she told us. Now I'm saying to myself, well, okay, we've heard before that the producers try to spin a narrative. So what did you actually say, LeiAnn? LeiAnn told us, I need to make sure I pull this up and even look at it because I don't want to get it wrong. LeiAnn told us that, LeiAnn said to us that she's told Mario when he talked about his father passing, she said she did give him condolences. And this is what she said. I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine losing, your parent because I'm so blessed to still have both my parents still alive. And I'm very close. She said she's very close to her father. She said, and being, she said, she went on and said, the only thing closest to her that she has actually lost were her dogs that she had to put down. And she said, so she couldn't even imagine that what he's going through sort of at the highest level of loss that he's experiencing. And that she can't imagine what he's going through or even what he continues to go through. This is what she said. She told Mario. So this is where I have a problem with her answer. Because if she indeed said that, then I have another problem. Was that to me sound like a good enough condolence? Now I have to ask myself, is she lying about the condolence she gave? Because based on that condolence, then I would have to say that Mario's response in saying that her condolence wasn't good enough or it wasn't fair or that it was lacking, I would have to say his expectations were too high. But I'm not really willing to say that yet. I'm not really willing to say that Mario is the one that is maybe overreacting or is partially lying. I'm not really ready to say that all the way because there's other signs about LeiAnn that tells me she dances with the truth, which means, like I said, it's not a full transparency. It's partial stories that maybe she wants to lead you in a certain direction or look at her a certain kind of way, but yet that may not be the reality. Part of me felt when she said that, that's what she really said, and that she was edited, part of me felt she was just trying to clean it up. Part of me felt that she doesn't want to come off as cold, so here she is being the cleanup woman right now, trying to clean up her original statement, because what she said absolutely does not line up with the response from Mario. It absolutely does not. And the other reason why I say I do struggle with some parts about LeiAnn is because, you know what, I'm not going to auntie LeiAnn because, first of all, I'm not old enough to be her auntie. I definitely can be her big sister because I got some years on LeiAnn. I absolutely do. So I could be her big sister, but I can't auntie her because she is 50 years old. So being a woman who's older than LeiAnn and who has passed 50 years old, I've passed it. I definitely have passed it. I can also look at LeiAnn and say there's another level of transparency I feel she isn't doing it when it comes to women out here. If you guys know anything about my channel, I do try to pass down words of wisdom to women who are younger than me. And I often get a little bit upset with women who have passed certain ages, and then I feel like sometimes they cover up the truth to younger women. Because people need to be told about the things that are coming down the road. You don't need to be glossing over years so that the younger women just keep making the same mistakes we made when we were younger. And a part of me with LeiAnn feels like she glosses over the first 30 years of her dating life. She's 50 years old, which means she's been dating since she was, let's say, 20 years old or younger. Because LeiAnn tells us that she had her daughter. She sounds like she has a daughter at 18 years old. She had her daughter at 18 years old. So to me, I feel like LeiAnn glosses over her dating life a lot. And she skips to 50 years old. And she says age is not nothing but a number. No, it's not. It's more than a number. Age is real. Okay? And it doesn't mean that you have to look at it as a limitation. But I don't like when people don't have a healthy respect for age, because age is real. And I'm going to tell you, as a woman who, like I said, has got several years on LeiAnn, don't listen to women when they tell you age is not a number and they're 50 years old and 60 years old. It's real. Life at 50 and above is not what it was at 40. So I don't want women who are 40 or 30 thinking about, oh, I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't have to be worried about a father time, because according to the women who are 50, 55, and 60, age ain't nothing but a number. That's a lie. That's a lie. At 50 years old, let me tell you what you're more than likely going through. You're going through menopause. And let me tell you what menopause does. Menopause changes your diet. It changes your weight. It changes things you can eat. It changes things you can drink. It changes your sex life. It changes a lot of things. And so it's not just a number. Okay? It's not just a number. Doesn't mean that you can't be healthy like LeiAnn is. Doesn't mean that you can't be in shape like LeiAnn is. No, it doesn't mean that. You can be all those things. But it still means that you're grappling with a lot more things at 50 and above than you are when you're 30 and 40. So I don't like it when women send false messages to younger women. And let's not act like 50-year-old women who are now half a century old. I'm way past half a century old. And the majority of our dating life is gone. Let's stop acting like we can date and ask for things from men like we did when we were 20 or 30. First of all, we can't do it because those men aren't 20 and 30, so we can't be asking for the same things. Second of all, those men are in completely different phases in their life than they were at 20 and 30. And third of all, we're not even in the same place we were at 20 and 30. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't want a man, but we should want different things from a man, because what we need at 50 should not be what we needed when we were 20 and 30. And a part of me with LeiAnn that bothers me is, even though she looks good for her age, she does. She looks good for her age. She's in shape. Some of the parts about LeiAnn that bother me is she's acting like, even though she looks younger, the things that she should want and need in her life are younger. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it at all. One of the things that LeiAnn said that really kind of rubbed me wrong was she said that she's a happy person, which that's good. I hope for that. I hope for that for everyone. But she said when she's looking for a gentleman, she says she wants a man that's going to make her happier. The IER on the end, happier. What is the point of being with someone if they're not going to make you happier? I disagree, especially at 50 years old. I disagree. And let me tell you, you definitely don't want a person who's going to make you more unhappy. Absolutely not. You don't want that. But the idea that the only reason to have a partner in your life or a mate in your life is to make you happier, I don't agree with that. Because life is about going through life with someone, right? And I don't think that you should be saying in a mate that I want you to make me happier. Why can't it be that I'm a happy person and I want to meet someone that I can share my happiness with and he can share his happiness with me? Why can't it be? Why is it that I need that person to elevate me at 50 years old? At 50 years old, we have more than developed ourselves. Are we all still growing? Yes. But at 50 years old and beyond, we have all fully developed. Really, we fully developed. Are we forever changing, ever evolving? Yes, we are. But a lot of our development is done. You have developed from your 20s to your 50s. At this point in time, women who are 50 years old and above should be looking for a man to go through life with. Not necessarily, I want you to make me happier. Happier. Why can't you just find a man that you can go along with life and share your happiness with, and he can share yours with him? Why can't it just be that? It's like going on vacation. Am I going to invite a person on vacation? Well, I don't want you to go on vacation with me unless you're going to make my vacation better. Why can't it be that I want you to go on my vacation with me, or go on vacation together so we can enjoy the vacation together, right? So we can experience it together. And that, you know what, you can add to the vacation, I can add to the vacation. But why is it all about qualifying it as, well, if you're not here to make me do more for me than what I can do for myself, I don't need you. That's what it's giving me. What it's giving me is, I want a man who can do more for me than I'm doing for myself now. Let's get straight to it. That's really what it's about. And if you can't do more for me than I'm doing for myself, I don't need to be with you. That's why I think she misses out on relationships, because that's how she's judging it. And really what she should be judging a relationship based on is, can we do things together? You're in the last years of your life. You're 50 years old. You're in the last years of being able to do things. What's the average age people are dying out here? 79? So even if you are in good shape like LeiAnn, would you live to 84? But let's be real. You may live to be 84, but you ain't traveling at 85 years old. Travel is ending for most people maybe around their mid-70s, late 70s. Some people travel later, but let's be real. Let's be real. What you're really doing in life, you don't have another 30 years. You may have at best another good 20 years, 25 years. Let's be real. Most of your years of dating are gone. They're behind you. Your 20 to 50, 30 years are behind you. You only got maybe in front of you another 20 years. If you got a bucket list of all the places you want to go in the world, people, how many places are on your bucket list? Are there more than 20? Because if there's more than 20, you're going to need to go on vacation more than once a year. That's the real numbers. So I don't want to say age is just a number, because it's more than a number. It is a reality. Age is a reality. And I think when people dispel reality, they also don't value the years they have now, and they think they have all day to do what they need to do. You don't have all day. LeiAnn told us that she didn't start seriously dating with intention until she was 45 years old. 45? What the heck were you doing for 20 to 45 years if you just now starting to date with intention at 45? You know what she said? She says, I was raising my daughter. Raising your daughter, you had her at 18. So even if you dedicated your whole life to raising your daughter, which was admirable, dang, by the time she was 18, you only 36. What happened the last 9 years that you still were not dating intentionally? She said she was still running behind young men who still wanted the kids, even though she didn't know she wanted kids, but she was still dating them. Why? Because you're still trying to dispel reality that you're older. You're still trying to live like you younger and not coming to reality that you are older, having a good time with these young men, even though you know they still want kids, even though knowing you don't want any more kids. So you just run around having a good time with them, knowing that when they finally do want to have kids, all they're going to do is break up with you and go get a younger woman to really have the kids. You wasting time. Why was you wasting time with those young men? To make you feel younger so you can dispel the reality that you are not younger? You know, that's what a lot of old men do. They date younger women to make them feel like they're younger, but reality is you're not young, you're still 50. The woman can make you feel younger, but the reality is you're not younger. Is that what LeiAnn was doing? Dating younger men to make her feel younger, even though she's not really younger? So then she's not living her truth in her real life and getting the stuff. Get to stuff, LeiAnn. Get to it. You don't have all day. Let's stop believing like you got all day. You don't have all day. Like I said, I can't auntie her, but I can big sister her. I can't auntie her, but I can definitely big sister her. Like I said, she struggled with a lot of questions. When she was on Kendra G was asking her, does the man you date need to have 6 figures? She hemmed and she hawed. We knew the answer was yes. Everybody knew, looking at LeiAnn, hearing LeiAnn already, we knew the answer was going to be yes, but she hemmed and she hawed and, oh, well, yeah, I think it's going to be difficult if you don't and this and that. Kendra G was like, just give me the answer. Give me the answer. Does he need to make 6 figures? And she said, yes, he needs to make 6 figures. Why, LeiAnn? And she said, because I want a man to be a leader. Where is a man going to lead you? You 50 years old. Where's he leading you to? Most of the things you've already been led there. If you're 50, you've already gone through life. When you talk about a man being a leader of a household when you're younger, it's a lot different than a man being a leader of a household when you're 50. When you're 50 years old, you might already have a house. You already got a career. You already got your 401k. You've already had kids. You've already made the big decisions in life already. So what's the man leading to you, to LeiAnn? Where's he leading you? What it sounds like is she wants a man to take over financial responsibility. That's what she wants. That's what she still wants. What she still wants at 50 years old is she wants a man to come in and take over financial responsibilities and lead her. She wants Rebecca Lynn Pope, what Rebecca Lynn Pope was saying about her husband, how he takes care of the mortgage and all she has to do is then she can use her money for other things. That's exactly what LeiAnn wants. That's what LeiAnn wants. But here, I'm going to get to this thing about, and there's nothing wrong with wanting that. There's nothing wrong with wanting that, but then say that. Have full transparency. And to be honest with you, that it doesn't even equate to a salary amount. When men are 50 years old and above, 52, 53, you know what people are thinking of at 53, 54, 55? They're thinking about when they're ready to retire. They're thinking about, I want to retire sooner than 62. They're thinking, I want to get out of working sooner than 62. They're not thinking about, I want to find a woman who's 50 years old and spend all my retirement money and everything I built up, I want to spend it on her. That's not what they're thinking about. What LeiAnn should be saying is, forget the salary requirement, because a lot of men, once they hit 50 and above, they're actually looking at decreasing their yearly debts because they want to be able to retire sooner and live a nice life without having to work. A lot of men are looking at their investments, their 401ks, their pensions, the money they save, and they're trying to make that money last until they are dead and gone, and they're not trying to look at spending all that money on LeiAnn. Now, what she needs to be looking for, instead of talking about a salary amount, what she needs to be looking for is maybe a man that owns his own home, like maybe Rebecca Lynn Pope's husband did, like Rashid and Simone. Then you can move into his home. Then when you move into his home and you can get rid of your home or rent your home out, or you could sell your house or do whatever you want to do, then the money you were using to cover your own bills, now you can use that money maybe for the travel of your household. Now, since he's paying the mortgage and you're living rent free and you don't have to pay a mortgage anymore and you're renting your house out through a tenant, maybe now all that money you're saving, the $2,500, the $3,000, the $4,000, whatever it is, maybe you can use that money to round out you guys' life, travel a lot more. That's what you should be looking for. You should be looking for a man that has disposable time or disposable money to travel. That's what you should be doing at 50 years old. You should be traveling. You don't need to be talking about how much money he makes in terms of gross salary. You need to be talking about disposable income. He may still have a kid that he's putting through college. You had your child at 18 years old, but a lot of men didn't start having children until they were 30. So when he gets to 50 years old, his children may just be hitting the college years. He may be still investing in college for those kids. You don't know what his debts are. Her requirements of a man at her age are unrealistic. She's not thinking about what people are thinking about when they're 50 years old. She needs to fit her requirements to what people are going through at her age, because what she does is she lives in a life when she's 30. She keeps thinking about when she was 30, so she's talking like a 30-year-old woman. She talks about, well, I want a man that's over 6'2" because she's 5'9". Why? I'm going to tell you this as a big sister, LeiAnn. You 50? Give it about 4 more years, 3 to 4 more years, and you're going to be out of them 4-inch heels. You may be out of them now. It's not even realistic. How often women need to stop talking about when they 5'4", how tall they want a man. Younger women, because younger women probably walk around in heels a lot. 50-year-old women, 50 and above women, tell me how often are you wearing heels? I'm going to break it down to you as a woman who's well beyond 50. I'm going to tell you that the times I put on 4-inch heels are rare to nil. I don't walk around in heels every day. I don't walk around them in at work. Okay. If I want to look cute and dress up, maybe I wear them. But even sometimes when I'm wearing them, I'm with girlfriends. I'm not even with my husband. So what difference does it make if he's not 6 inches taller than me, 5 inches taller? What difference does it make? How many times are you really wearing 4-inch, 5-inch heels so that you're towering over a man that's 6'2"? That's what I'm saying. She's asking for things that are unrealistic. Didn't she own a gym or work in a gym? She in tennis shoes most of the time. Even when she dresses up and goes to a gala, how often is that? How often are you so-called towering over your mate or your husband with 6'2" inches heels? How often are you wearing those heels and you're with a guy? Most of the time people are going on vacation with a man They out on the weekend doing weekend stuff, fun stuff. Fun stuff is done in flats and tennis shoes. Outdoor adventurous stuff is done in flats and tennis shoes. You ain't wearing heels. Why do you need a man that tall at your age? You're not in those stilettos that often. And if you are, more than likely those occasions aren't always with your man. Like I said, asking for things at 50 where you don't even really use those things anymore. That's a young girl's game. 4-inch heels, 5-inch heels. That's a young girl's game. Women over 50 ain't doing that no more. Not in no large amount. Not 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 5 times. No, it's not happening. That's not what every day looks like with marriage and couples. Everybody ain't walking around in 5-inch, 4-inch heels. She's 5'9". She should be good with a man who's 5'9" or 5'10". She should be good. So what if when she goes out once every 2 months with a man who's 5'10" and she puts on 3 or 4-inch heels? And so what if she's towering over him by an inch or two for 4 days out of the year? But look at all the men she's disregarding because she's looking for a man over 6-something feet tall. It's ridiculous. And she's too old to be having these expectations. LeiAnn says, she can't help it because most men that are attracted to her or come up on her are younger because she can't get out in the gym. And that's probably where a lot of young men hang out. She probably does meet a lot of young men. And like she said, she does look younger. But that doesn't mean you should say yes to him. Just because what you attract doesn't mean you should say yes to it. It's even with young people. There's a lot of younger people who attract a certain type of man. Doesn't mean you should say yes to it. Just because young men are attracted to you doesn't mean you should say yes to them. You should say thank you for the compliment, but no thank you. You should know by now you should not be saying yes to those young men because those young men still want kids. Those young men aren't even in the age of their life to want the same kind of things that you want. So you can accept the compliment, but it doesn't mean that you should go along with it. She should know this by now. And the minute a man comes up to her and thinks she's younger, the minute she opens her mouth, men are going to know how old she is. She said she may look younger, but when you hear LeiAnn speak, she actually speaks like a 50-year-old woman. In a lot of ways, she sounds like one. She sounds young sometimes in her thinking and her what she should expect for her life. But I don't get like, she sounds like a 30-year-old woman. No, I don't know what LeiAnn's been doing out here all this time to only get serious about dating at 45 years old. I don't know what she's been doing with her years. I know she had a child, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of gaps in the years for LeiAnn of what she was doing. And I think those gaps are explained by the fact that she operates with a veneer. She operates with a veneer, and to maintain that veneer that she operates in, she dates the wrong people. Because the people she dates fits the veneer, but the people she dates doesn't fit what the reality is of her life. That's what I believe. I think when she decides to get rid of the veneer, she'll start attracting people who are more well suited to actually where she needs to be in life. When you keep the veneer up that I'm young spirited, then you attract 33 or you attract 40-year-old men, you attract younger men. But that's not the reality of your life. So now the people you attract don't fit the reality of your life. So then what you say is, you still want what your real life is, but your veneer is attracting something completely different. It's the same thing I say about Tequila. She wants to date a different type of man. She's got to change her veneer. Her veneer, like I told you, is ghetto. If she wants a different type of mirror, change your ghetto veneer. LeiAnn, if you want to date different type of mirror, change the veneer that although you're 50, you really only 40. No, you're 50. Start showing a veneer or the real you, the transparency of you. That's the real you. And then you'll start attracting men who are closer to you. Just like I tell Tequila. Tequila may think she attracts ghetto men because what she presents is ghetto. Sometimes what we attract is the mirror of us. A lot of people want to attract what's different from them because they don't understand what their mirror is. And what they keep saying is, I don't know why I'm attracting the wrong man. Maybe it's your mirror. Maybe it's who you are. Maybe it's what you're projecting. Maybe it's what you're showing. And maybe what you're showing may not be the real you, but it's what you're attracting. Like I said, Tequila, I think Tequila is a good person on the inside, but her outside is ghetto, so she probably attracts ghetto men. And I think the same thing about LeiAnn. She probably attracts fake, phony men because her veneer reads that way. She may attract younger men because her veneer reads that way. Am I telling her to walk around with bags under her eyes, looking frumpy and all that? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is she needs a better balance. Just like I said, Tequila needs a balance. She needs a balance. And right now, LeiAnn's balance is not appropriate to attract the type of man she talks about she really wants in her life. What she's asking for, what she's expecting from a man, what she's using as bait for that man is not going to attract her to the right man. Anybody fish out there? Anybody fish? One of the things you know that in order to catch the fish you want, you got to use the right type of bait. If you are not using the right type of bait, you won't attract the fish you're trying to catch. Talk to anybody who's a real good fisherman, and they will tell you that the way to catch good fish, the fish you want to attract, is by the bait you use. You can't use the same bait for all the fish, all the same fish. It don't work that way. You got to fit your bait to match your fish. And if you're attracting the wrong type of fish, then you got the wrong type of bait. That's how you know you got the wrong bait. Stop saying that the fish don't exist in the pond, that the fish don't exist in the ocean, that the fish don't exist in the lake. That's not the problem. It's the bait you are using to attract the fish that you want to attract. And I'm telling you right now that LeiAnn is using the wrong bait to attract the man she really says she wants. But that's it, y'all. That's it. Like I said, I can't auntie her, but I'm a big sis her. I'm a definitely big sis her. Good luck to you, LeiAnn. Good luck to you. Bye.